Hey everyone, it's Meg, and welcome back to more Superman the Animated Series reactions. If I sound a little different, it's because I am recovering from a cold. Not COVID, just a regular old common cold, which I had COVID a couple months ago for the fourth time. I was in New York City when the pandemic started, so it's been a wild ride. But I have not had a common cold in 4 years. And so it was almost 5. Geez, I would say. But like, it's so weird and almost satisfying and like exciting to have a common cold because I know how to predict it. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so here's a nasal drip, and then there's the sore throat, and then there's the congestion. So I'm on like the third, fourth day where I'm just like, it's just congestion. I feel fine, no fever, whatever. With COVID and all the variants, it's like, oh my God, it's a roller coaster every time. You don't know what to expect. So anyways, I'm really excited for this. Your girl is trying her best not to look at the thumbnails. So I just hit play on the home screen, and this one is called Absolute Power, and it is episode 6 of season 3. So let's check the captions are on. Yes. Oh, what's going on? Sorry.
A black hole. A collapsed star so dense that not even light can escape from its gravitational
Wait, that's so
pull.
cool how they drew it and colored it, because it really is just pure black compared to everything else that's textured.
Less than 6 light years from Earth.
What are you doing close to it, sir? Be careful, please. That is pretty cool because we can't really get too close to it and study it.
But I wasn't the only one observing it.
Who's that? Damn. Be careful, please. I don't like you that close to a black hole. I have so much anxiety right now. And this isn't Interstellar with the cool, like, oh, black holes, fabric of space and time, you can time travel and blah, blah, blah. No. Be careful. Yeah. Da, da, da. I love how they illustrate space in this show.
Fortunately, their ship had left a vapor trail.
Nice. Oh, it's narrated by him. I didn't even notice. I feel like not a lot have been narrated by him. Definitely late Mr. Ken. I recently edited that one. It's like almost detective soups. No, they look... Well, I'm not sure.
He's one of them.
Excuse me?
What? Oh, they're like anti-Kryptonian? Well, they're scared of Kryptonians? One of them.
I don't understand. I just saved your lives.
Then maybe you'd better run too.
What?
He's still alive. I think he's one of them.
Brainiac?
That's not our concern. Our orders are to take them all out.
What? Oh my God. What is that? It kind of looks similar to Krypton. I don't know why I'm like obsessed with Kryptonians. They're definitely not though, but is it like humans? It's cool architecture. I love 90s version sci-fi of like what they think will be the future, like the Jetsons and stuff. That's what it's reminding me of.
Maybe you can tell me why I'm so popular around here.
Their eyes are so cool. Definitely not Kryptonians. Really cool armor. Don't let Lex Luthor see it.
Stand down at once.
Mala?
Welcome to New Krypton.
Oh, how? I thought she was in the Phantom Zone, or am I tripping? Also, her voice... No, I think her voice is the same. New Krypton? How are you out?
You'll find the food almost as good as on Krypton.
Oh, and it's
if you can
her...
remember that far
That
back.
guy. Frick. If you can remember that far back.
Idiot.
No, you are.
I see you still have a weakness for the inferior, Kal-El.
I love her
The last time I
eyeshadow.
saw you, you were trapped in the Phantom Zone.
Yes.
How did...
Did we escape? A stroke of luck. About a year ago, scientists here
She sounds
detected 2
different.
meteors of lunar proportions.
Okay.
When the meteors collided, the released energy tore open a rift into the Phantom Zone.
Oh my god, it's like they were born from a, you know what? Yeah, you were like, ha ha ha. Did you think about how you could breathe? Oh, they saved your asses, you bitches.
We were free, but helpless.
Jack Sir, yes. And I remember y'all telling me they were modeled versions of Zod and the other one.
4 of the escapees have been recaptured. 2 are still at large.
Come back when you have them all.
They were trying to escape. That's so
Those
sad.
citizens you so recklessly saved were criminals, anarchists, condemned by due process.
I
Even
love an
on your
anarchist.
world, you don't interfere with that, do you?
But this is not
Before
new
we
crypto.
arrived, this was a planet in chaos, divided by petty conflicts and factions, not unlike Earth. We have brought to it the order it needed.
Okay,
Is
Templars.
that a fact?
How long have they been here? I didn't catch that.
Production instead of destruction. Factories where there were once useless forests and wetlands. Workers who now cooperate with each other instead of compete. A job for everyone according to his abilities and our needs.
And our needs. Interesting.
We have built new schools to teach morality, loyalty, and purpose.
Hitler Youth.
Disciplinary problems are now non-existent.
Yeah, because of propaganda and brainwashing. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of like Soviet Union as well.
All over this planet, we are tearing down the irrational past in order to make room for an efficient future. In 1 year, we have put a new face on this world, creating the paradise Krypton would have been under our rule.
Damn, we
Now, if
thought
only someone down
Darkseid
there would
was
smile.
okay. I mean, no one compares to Darkseid, but
Kal-El knows his place, and this planet is simply out of his jurisdiction.
I guess it's true. If he'd gotten there a bit earlier, he's still gonna find a way. Probably. Oh, couldn't you talk to Orion? Whoa, look at the lighting and the shading on that. Damn, that's crazy. I don't know if the city was there beforehand. I know the factories were, but oh my god, so cool. They kind of remind me of like Twi'leks and stuff from Star Wars.
Have a pleasant journey.
You're really gonna let him go unharmed? I guess they're achieving what they want. They're making a new Krypton, which is like what they wanted to do with Earth. So it's like, might as well let him go.
You're taking quite a risk. How do you know I won't turn you in?
It's a chance I'll have to take.
Oh my god, she's...
My name is Satea. I used to work for the National Council. We may have our wars and factions, but we are not the barbarians Jaxor portrays.
Yep.
Even so, I can't fight him, Satea.
You must. You're the only one powerful enough.
Help the revolution.
Your planet will be the loser.
Aww.
A battle between us would cause more destruction and bloodshed than all the wars that came before.
Because it's Kryptonian versus Kryptonian.
But I don't believe our royal benefactors have given you the whole picture.
Yeah, they're rewriting history. It said irrational past. It's very interesting vocabulary.
Satea! We should have killed her the first time she
Oh my
crossed
god,
us.
Mala! And they're supposed to be the civilized ones, and she
You
cannot
have
control her
performed
temper.
well, Alteris.
She's insane.
As you always do.
Oh my god.
Business before pleasure, Mala.
No, she's insane! Oh my god! If a man did that, girl, you can't fucking... Ew! Business before pleasure? Stop, they're so evil. Look at those factories. Okay, let's see. Yeah, because this might, like, I mean, they probably won't stop here. We'll see. Oh god. Military. They're not gonna stop here. Absolute power is what it's called.
Ships, manned by robots.
They're building an armada.
Yes. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, meaning that morality, ethics are out of question. Like it dissipates
I want to know where these ships are headed.
to probably various planets and stuff, right? Earth? So it concerns you. Why are they so hung up on Earth? Probably pettiness. It reminds me of like Russia and Germany's obsession with Eastern Europe, like Poland and Ukraine.
The restraints create a magnetic field not even you can break.
No. Just for you to show up at Earth's doorstep. You know, it is true. Like, it's funny, he did fall for that non-interventionist thing.
Of all the phenomena of
drop
nature,
him there?
none fascinates me more than a black hole. Everything it touches becomes its own.
Whoa.
You would admire
Not
that.
this. It's the same type of... as Darkseid, the bindings. Help them.
Plague on.
Oh, he's freeing them.
Your soldier boy has been playing tricks. What's that?
She goes... oh, yeah. Get sucked in again.
I decided to stick around.
Oh, my God.
I thought we might find a new planet. A nice cozy one, just for the two of you.
Oh, my gosh. Didn't even want or need help. He was like, just get to safety.
You're not going back.
Oh.
We're caught in the gravity well!
Oh my God. But how does he get off? Because he needs a suit, right? Like, he can't. They were choking. Like, asphyxiated. For Kryptonian repopulation and such. Whoa! Look at that. Damn. Yeah, see? How is he still fighting? He's not breathing. Oh my God. Yes, sir. Are you gonna save them or are you gonna leave them? Oh. I mean, he can, what can he do? Oh my God. Hello? He really couldn't have saved them, but they're dead.
Although Satea's people were grateful for my help, I wondered if it wasn't I who should be grateful. They reminded me of the saying, evil triumphs when good men do nothing. I won't forget it again.
Oh my God, one of the best. That was truly one of the best episodes. There was a mosquito? What are you doing alive? Go into the black hole. See it, then I pause it. And I'm like, okay. I don't look at the thumbnail. What the hell? I feel like there was so much good stuff in there. And like, that's a lot of Superman episodes where there's just so much good stuff. It's like so many lessons. But what definitely sticks out is him with that reflective voiceover. And I'm forgetting, I don't think it was Apocalypse Now, but something along those lines. It was like a detective episode where he had a voiceover too. I can think of that and probably one or two others where he had a sort of voiceover. And I think it's more, rather than detective, it's like more reflective and inquisitive, and it's Superman kind of learning and like explaining what he's learned, and it's almost like his journal that he's reading out loud. And so he would write notes for a detective, like figuring out a case as a journalist. But this one was like some true character building, because it's definitely a reference to that quote, or I think it was a letter originally, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And then I'm 100% paraphrasing, but something along the lines of even great men. Goddamn, what was it? Even great men, when they attain power, lose their morality. Okay, let's go back to school. Absolute power. Let's see. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Great men are almost always bad men, even when they exercise influence and not authority. Okay, so I got it very wrong, but that's really cool. And kind of the same idea. So the main thing is, like, they weren't going to stop there. And that's what she was trying to tell him. She was like, you know, I get it, but there's a lot you don't know. And so let me show you. I really loved that planet and that species or race, whatever you call it. Like, I wonder if there are comics or anything, because I just thought they were fascinating, and I would have loved to see their planet beforehand, because I'm not sure if the city was there, but it sounded like they had a great harmony between like city and infrastructure and grassy wetlands, which that's the sustainable option. You can't do ecocide and expect long-term greatness. Like, Krypton didn't survive that long because they ignored their climate, and actually it was their downfall, at least from what I know. Jor-El was trying to say, like, there's this meteor or whatever it was, and we have to prepare, and no one was listening to him because they got too blinded by, you know, comfort. And so in terms of like colonization and empire, they don't usually just like stop when they want to be great. Like, think of Alexander the Great. Sorry for any stans or like fans of these people, these conquerors, like even Julius Caesar. I know it's hard because our current empire, or like what's left of it, is so based on like the Roman Empire, and we're currently falling as well, the US at least. But England as an empire too, it's just like Christopher Columbus and Caesar, like there were so many people who suffered at the hands of these great men. That's why I love that quote, because it's true. It's like, okay, they're great, but at whose cost, you know? At what lives have been lost? Because if you're expanding, Genghis Khan, like he was legitimately a great leader and conqueror. But he showed up and he didn't give them much of a choice. It was like, you're either completely submitting to us and we'll leave and it'll be peaceful, or like we'll stay and it'll be peaceful, or, you know, we're going to kill you. And he would show up with so many. So like, I'm learning about Genghis Khan right now. That's why I think of it. But in terms of like those aspirations, yeah, that's what happens. And they're never really content. And I mentioned Poland, obviously, because I'm a Polish American, and, you know, learning about just the intensity from like both the East and the West of just like these forces that were trying to get their land. And it's like, why are you obsessed with Earth, for example? Why are you obsessed with Ukraine and Poland and Czech Republic? And it's like, for the most part, from what I've learned in studying Polish history, like they minded their own business. And you'll see that with like a lot of indigenous peoples and people who really belong in the land. They just kind of mind their own business. They don't want to like expand further. Of course, there's like other unethical things that happen, but we're talking about colonialism and expansionism and empire and stuff. And it's just so interesting how these empires and countries, and they aspire to conquer so much, and it does end up, well, we'll see. I won't talk on that because I'm like, it does end up biting them in the ass. But you know, there's like the 250-year rule. Okay, I'm blabbing. Anyways, I thought that was just such an accurate representation, and I was like, why are they letting him go? Because he put them in he put him back in the Phantom Zone, and wasn't it Jor-El who put them in the Phantom Zone in the first place? And even I got checked, because of course they weren't gonna like really let him leave. Their sights were always on Earth. Like, it's a certain pettiness, and like we need to win, and we need to win Earth again. And I know like Earth probably has a lot of great resources, whatever, but so does Krypton, and I don't know. Let me know if Mala is the same voice actress because she sounds different. And it's interesting too that um Jaxer and Mala are based on Zod and that other girl, but I don't remember her name right now. And people had a lot of frustration over Man of Steel with Superman killing Zod, and his other character name, like Jaxer, is based on Zod or vice versa. I'm not sure. He also died. I don't know if that's true for the comics. It's just an interesting parallel. It's not like he killed them, but he didn't really go out of his way to save them. Like, they literally died, I would presume. That was a very dark ending, right? Unless, I mean, we don't know much about black holes and stuff, but we can pretty much gather that they're dead. And people were really upset because they were like, Superman doesn't kill. Well, okay. I just thought that was interesting. I didn't mind him having to kill Zod in that because it was just so brutal. His scream and the pain, the anguish. We've seen that a lot in this show, and I just really liked that interpretation. Anyways, I loved their depiction of the black hole. I feel like as a kid, if anyone watched this as a kid, let me know if you learned a lot from this show, because there's a lot of physics and science and a lot of stuff about outer space. I'm not an expert, but it sounded pretty accurate to me, the explanations. And I really liked just how they chose to illustrate the difference between the black hole and then space, because space even looked more like it looked alive and real. And the illustration was just like the use of the textures and the shading and the coloring, the stars. It's bright, and there is versions of like light, and then you look at the black hole, it's just black. And it's got to be hard to convey a black hole with pen and paper, but they did in a really cool way. Like, I love how they illustrate space. I remember seeing that in the first 3-parter for Superman in the show, and I was like, this is so cool because the stories are just endless. This isn't just stuck in Gotham or Metropolis. Like, he's universal, multi-universal. And I love that he wants to help them gain knowledge with, like, he was like, I had the opportunity to go up close and give them information and study. Like, he's such a nerd. I love the nerdy part of Superman. And then I think what I loved most about all of this, aside from that, and also like him having to face Kryptonians who are so evil. This is not Darkseid. You know, Darkseid, no one compares to like that type of colonization and evil. But still, like, the only surviving Kryptonians are, apart from Bizarro, but he's a clone and is different. They're so evil. And that already is something he's had to reckon with. But also, like, he tried the non-interventionist way, which is always a debate, you know, politically, and especially with international politics. Like, why are we intervening? And I think it's a big reason why we didn't with World War II, at least from what I've read. It took a while. It took a while for the US to get involved, and you can do sanctions, blah, 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 blah. But with something like this, like, it's a brand new colony, and he tried to be like, it's out of my jurisdiction. Like, I don't want war. Like, you don't understand. And he said at the end, he admitted he was wrong. And that's just so beautiful. I love that we hear Superman, of all people, say, I was wrong. They were thanking me, but I should have thanked them because I was wrong. And I forget the quote right at the end, but it's true. Like, he can't just pick and choose, really. I mean, he has to sometimes. When he's going to get involved, when he's going to intervene. Like, these people were crying out for help, and it's so funny that they said the ship full of people that were criminals and anarchists and stuff. And she was like, they were leaders, because that's exactly, for example, what Hitler did when he was also expanding into Eastern Europe, and specifically with Poland. He staged a false flag with Poland, and started World War II. But as soon as he got there, the first people that they killed were leaders. They were religious people, artists, even teachers, professors, anyone who was smart, because the whole idea, and this was also coming from the Soviet Union, was like, you can't know more than 500 words a day. They were trying to contribute to this anti-Semitic, but also like, I don't know what the word, Polonophobia, with Poles and various other Slavic people, that they're stupid. And that the Slavic people, like Polish people, were controlled by Jewish people. It was a whole narrative. And so they were really trying to make sure that they weren't educated. And their first thing was murdering those people, sometimes in broad daylight, like in the morning, just murdering them on the street. They would gather them up. And this was before the concentration camps were established. And that's a huge part of the empire and colonization and squashing a population and a culture down, is get rid of the academics and the religious people and burn the temples or the mosques or the whatever, like the churches. They killed priests. And so it's so accurate. I love how accurate this is. And that episode just proved to me why Superman is my current favorite, and why Superman the animated series is my favorite animated show, apart from Avatar The Last Airbender. Love Avatar The Last Airbender for different reasons, but it also gets into a lot of like colonization, like the horrors of it. And yeah, I won't get it. I could blab on and on. So that's it. Wow. I talked so long. If you got to the end, thank you. I love you. Would love to hear what you think. Type bubble in the comments if you really listen till the end. So excited to start Justice League. I just wanted to, get as far as I could with Superman first. I love you all so much. Thank you so much to my patrons and my YouTube channel members. If you have answers to my questions, I would love to know. And who is the OG? Is it Zod in the comics, or is it Jaxer and Mala? What's her name? I feel like it's like Ursa? No, that's a constellation. Let me know. Anyways, love you all so much. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.